For the FIA Formula One United States Grand Prix. In third place, Carlos Sainz. In second place, Max Verstappen. And taking his fourth pole position in the last 5 Grand Prix, our pole sitter, Lando Norris. Many congratulations, Lando. That was a tremendous first lap in Q3. Just how good was it?
The best of probably my career, I think. It was just a very nice lap. I kind of set the bar too high because on my second lap I was like, guys, I don't think I'm going to improve much here. I got everything out of the car. We changed a good amount from the sprint race into quali today now, and definitely took a step forward, but man, I was we were still struggling a lot. I just knew I had to risk a little bit more and give it that little extra. And it just came together perfectly. But it was definitely not a lap I could have repeated. So I'm very happy because I really wasn't expecting to be here today.
You say you risked a bit more. Where did you find the time? Which sectors?
It was a bit everywhere, honestly. But of course, the high speed is where we struggle a touch comparing to the Red Bulls, especially. Max has been extremely quick in the first sector and the high speed. So trying to limit that a little bit more was a good start, and then just the braking, the final sector, from 12 to 16. As soon as one part goes wrong, it can all fall away quite quickly. And again, just hooked everything up, probably the first time all weekend and probably the last. But it just came together perfectly. So was a very, very good lap.
For you, just how much time?
Happy. I'm not frustrated. This just happens in qualifying.
Mm-hmm. Let's throw it forward to the race then. This is the same front row as we had in Singapore last time out, but are you feeling a lot more confident ahead of the race?
I felt quite decent today. We made a few changes on the car, and hopefully that will help again for the race. And then hopefully we can try and do the same.
Do you think tyres are going to be the main talking point in the Grand Prix tomorrow?
Always.
Okay. Max, thank you for that. Carlos, let's come to you. Seems like your second Q3 lap was cut short for you as well. A case of what might have been?
Definitely, obviously. Everyone can say the same, no? And Lando deserves to be on pole. Max deserves to be second. I deserve to be third because they did a better job in the first run. But that second lap, I don't know what changed, if it was a lower track tempo or what, but the car came alive and we were coming in a very fast lap. To be in the ballpark with these two guys, whether to beat them or not, I don't know. But to be in the ballpark, and it's a bit of a shame, but we trust that we can hopefully get them tomorrow in the race pace because the sprint was strong, and the car even in qualifying took a step compared to yesterday. So happy with the progress made so far.
How confident are you feeling ahead of the Grand Prix?
Relatively. The race is going to be very long. We're going to top up the fuel, so what we might have seen in the last stint of the race might not be the same as the 100 and something kilos that we put on the car going into Sunday. But one good thing is that we had a good reference from the sprint. Obviously, these guys haven't stood still, and they would have improved that front graining that a lot of people were struggling with in the sprint. And I think the field is going to be very close tomorrow, and it should be an exciting race between a few cars.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Thank you for that. Let's now open this to the floor. Name and publication as ever, please. Who's first? Alex.
Okay. Yeah. Alex Cameron, Autosport question to Lando. Just on the lap that got you pole position at turn 19, looked like a pretty dramatic snap from the TV coverage. What was it like inside the car? Was that one of the areas where you were really having to risk? Thank you.
And the bumps, our car just doesn't really work on that. So it's a very different track layout. Plus, I think we made the car more stable, so you can attack corners a bit better. And that then also helps, I think, the tires out a bit. So it was just, I probably needed it a little bit just because I was struggling a lot with the car, and we've been a bit off this weekend, and a little kick never hurts sometimes.
Thanks, Lando. All right, another one.
Andrew Benson, BBC Sport. Lando, you said you've not had the pace of the Ferraris and Red Bulls this weekend. you've been so quick for so long. Why do you think that is then this weekend?
It's a good question. I don't have an easy answer, honestly, for it. People would probably hate me for saying it, but I don't think we've definitely had the best car for several races and quite a few races this year over the last 2-3 months, but definitely not every race. Singapore was, I think we can say quite confidently we were the best. Baku, just the race before that, I think even though Oscar won, I think he'd won because he drove better than the others, and I think Red Bull and Ferrari were both quicker once again. So people might not agree with that. That's our version of events. That's what we think as a team. That's what we believe. So if we just go back 2 races ago, we were not the quickest car. We were last weekend in Singapore, or last time out in Singapore, and perceptions changed because of certain things. When you're in the team and you actually know where you stand, where you are relatively to other teams, you can just, I can confidently say these things and say where I believe we are and where we're not. Sometimes I'm wrong, but even like today, I don't think my lap was very good. I could not have gone 1.5 tenths quicker, or probably gone any quicker than the lap I did today, which shows we were not as fast. But exactly knowing where we're struggling a bit more is tough. There's different reasons. A bit of the bottoming and the ride in the high speed, that's where we struggle comparing to the Red Bulls. And comparing to the Ferraris, the slow speed is incredible. And I think even if we go back to Singapore, where we dominated, Ferrari were very quick the whole weekend until qualifying. They made some mistakes. I think the final stint, Charles was the quickest car on the track on the hard tyre. So it's just, you need to know information before you can make certain comments. And I think it's just been very close and closer than people think, even though we've dominated a few weekends. And this is one where we're just not quite as quick, and maybe the others have taken a couple of steps forward, and it's a little bit different. I don't have any exact answer. I'm just driving the car, but this is my feeling and kind of our feeling as a team.
Alex Cameron, Lucas Autosport. Another question for Carlos, please. Just how encouraged are you and the team by the pace of the car this weekend, given it's a very different track type compared to the street tracks, whereas Lando said in the slow corners you're usually very strong? Thank you.
Yeah, for me that's the biggest positive so far of the weekend. The fact that in a normal track, the last normal track was, let's say, more Zandvoort, Spa, and there we were clear 2 to 4 tenths off from a McLaren or a Mercedes, and this weekend it seems like maybe in quali we don't have the edge to fight for them. Although that last lap in quali, something happened to the car and with my lap that I was really coming on a quick one even for qualifying. But the reality is that this weekend we're in the fight, and I couldn't say the same of Zandvoort and Spa, the last normal tracks we've been to, no? So yeah. Good positive progress. It is true that last year we were on pole here with Charles, so the car must have some good traits for this, especially those twisty sections in sector 2 and 3. Sector 1 we're still a clear 2 tenths, 3 tenths down to Max and Lando, but we then recover in low speed. So there's some good traits of this car that we have to maximize in tomorrow.
Thank you, Carlos. Any more questions from the floor? No more questions?